I said they hate us cause they ain't us, so baby what it do? I said they hate us cause they ain't us, so baby slide through. I beat it like a vet, you know.
So what's going on, Angel Wings? I was trying to come up with some ideas of what kind of other videos I could do, and I thought about doing some story times because I got a few crazy story times from when I was like younger, my teenage years, my early 20s and stuff like that. So I thought, why don't I do a story time of when I was dating a guy, like my boyfriend tried to rob me. So gonna tell you the story time. I'm gonna tell you from the beginning, from how I met him, when I first met him, and how I found out that he was gonna try to rob me. Alright. So, I used to be on dating sites and stuff. So I met him off a dating site, and at this time, I was single or whatever. So I'm just going out on dates, hanging out with guys and stuff like that. Chit chat with them on the dating site, exchange numbers, and text or talk to them or whatever. We'll hang out, go out to eat, go to the movies, go hang out, chill, drink, smoke, whatever. So I'm texting a few guys this day because it was my off day and it was nice outside. I don't think it was summertime. I think it was like spring going into summer. So it was like nice weather, you know what I'm saying, for Michigan. And I'm trying to find something to do. So I'm texting this one guy and he like, yeah, we can hang out. I'm like, well, if you ain't driving or something like that and I have to come out to you, pick you up for them, I need gas money. So he like, all right, I got you, or whatever. So I drive out. At this time, I'm staying in the burbs. I don't even stay in the city. So I drive out from the burbs all the way to the city, and I stayed closer to Telegraph, and he stayed closer to Telegraph too on the city way. So that Telegraph drive is a long ass drive. It literally probably took me like 30 something minutes to get to where he was. So I pulled up on him. He got weed and shit. We stopped at the liquor store, and we didn't get I don't think we got liquor that night. I think we just got some Rellos, and I probably had got me a pack of cigarettes or whatever. So he said pull up at this park and stuff. So we pull up at this park. We just sitting there talking, smoking. I'm showing him a couple of stuff, like videos on YouTube at this time. And this is like in 2014/15. No, 2014. So this was like over 5 years ago. And so we chilling at the park and stuff. It's nighttime. And we just sitting in there, da-da-da. So then he tried to be on some off stuff, trying to talk about he wanted to eat me out in the front seat of the car. And I'm like, nigga, we just met each other. I'm not about to fucking let you eat me out. What the fuck is wrong with you? So after we had chilled and stuff, I was about to drop him off. So we stopped at this gas station in his neighborhood. So we in the gas station. At the gas station, I'm waiting on him because he's supposed to be putting gas in my car or whatever. And he in the gas station for a long ass fucking time, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why is this nigga in the gas station so long? So I'm like, this ain't even my neck of the woods and stuff like that. I'm getting like, what is it, like nervous or something or whatever like that. So I fucking call him from inside I'm outside and he inside the gas station. So I call him and I'm like, what's going on or whatever. He like, yeah, I'll be out there in a minute, da-da-da. So a few minutes went by, then he actually get in the car, and then I had dropped him off or whatever. And he didn't have the gas money either or whatever. So I still didn't even get no gas. So I fucking left from hanging out with him, and I was fucking pissed. So I'm like, yeah, like, I ain't fucking with this nigga no more. So So I had stopped talking to him. He kept on texting me. He texted me that night, like, did you make it home safe? I ignored his text message. He texted me the next day, the next day, and next day. Probably like a week or 2 weeks passed or something like that. And I'm like, yo, like, why did you keep blowing up my shit or whatever? And he was like, oh, you don't want to talk to me no more, da da da. Then I told him what the issue that I had, that I told you that if I came out there, that you was gonna have to give me gas money. You didn't. He was like, oh, well, I got gas money now, da da da, or whatever. I'll give you some money, this and that and the other. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So eventually, I ended up hanging out with him again. He did give me gas money and all this stuff like that. So after that, after hanging out and stuff like that, chilling and stuff like that, we start hanging out and seeing each other way more often or whatever. So fast forward, I brought him to the house that I was staying in at the time. And I was at work and I left him at the house or whatever. I had my laptop there and everything, whatever. So when I get off of work, the next day I dropped him off in the hood because he was out there hustling, doing his little bullshit, whatever he was doing. So when I get home, I'm on my computer and stuff. He got his email logged in. He on all types of websites and shit like that. I'm checking all this shit. This nigga on the website talking to girls and shit. So I call him, video calling him. I forgot that. Oh, it was called Glide. That Glide where you can send like video messages and shit like that. Cussing this nigga out and all types of shit. Like, nigga, you at my crib on my laptop talking to bitches and da 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 da. And he was like, nah. He was like, it ain't even like that, da da da, and shit like that. So, and to mind you too, before when I first started talking to him, he ain't tell me that he been out of prison for like 2 years or going on 2 years, and that he went to prison for armed robbery or whatever. But by this time of the laptop situation, I had already knew or whatever. And so he's telling me it ain't even like that. He was like, that's my hustle or whatever like that. He was like, I meet girls on the internet and I set them up or whatever. He was like, the night that I hung out with you, I was gonna rob you. But he was like, I realized that you ain't really didn't have nothing on you because you was asking me for gas money and stuff. And he was like, then after hanging out with you at the park or whatever, I was starting to like your vibe and stuff like that, and I was thinking that you ain't like the other little bitches I be running into and this and that. He was like, I was really feeling you, whatever. He was like, so when we went to the gas station, that's when I was gonna have you set up and be robbed. But I was inside the gas station talking to my mans and them and telling them that the whole ordeal was off or whatever like that, because I was really wanting to fuck with you or whatever. So when I found that shit out, I'm like, what the fuck? But I kept talking to this nigga after that shit. But I feel like after that was like a real life lesson, because it was just being in a relationship with that person. It was just too much shit going on, too stressful. And I ain't never ever dated somebody that spent majority of their young adulthood in prison. You know what I'm saying? Because when he went to prison, he did 7 years or something, and he got sent to prison when he was 18. So when I met him, he just got out for about 2 years. So we in our late 20s, we about to be going on freaking, you know what I'm saying, going to 30s and stuff like that. And you know, it just seemed like that time that was taken away from him, it took too much of his, you know, being grown away from him. You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't do that shit no more. So, yep, that's my story time of about to get robbed by my boyfriend. But when he was thinking about doing that shit, he wasn't my boyfriend at the time. That was my first day meeting him. But because he didn't set me up and rob me, and said all of a sudden that he had a change of heart, and we started fucking around with each other, and he ended up being my boyfriend. So that was some weird ass shit. But anyways, if you like the story time, give me a likes up, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to hear any more story times that I might have, Let me know in the comments below. Peace.